for about 4 years now. And it started with Jill Deegan contacting us about a large-scale rabbit rescue. It was over 60 rabbits, and we helped her out with that in Botetourt County Animal Control. That led to a few cases of dogs, a few cases of cats, a few cases of farm animals. After a while, it led into another request from Jill to ask to speak with Norm Mason and myself about expanding the relationship between Angels of Assisi and Botetourt County. We all met, and Jill had a notebook with her, and it had all of her animal cruelty cases and her animal neglect cases, and how she had worked through them. And what she needed now was a place for her future animal neglect and cruelty cases to go. She explained that Botetourt Animal Control was taking these animals out of really bad situations, where they were getting neglected, where they weren't getting medical treatment. They were going to the Regional Center for Animal Control and Protection, and guess what? They weren't getting medical care. They were being neglected. They weren't getting treated. They were housed in an area where humans didn't really see them in a court case animal. And abused and neglected animals sometimes need human interaction more than the rest of them. She went on and asked if we could help with that sort of thing. Norm asked her, what's the bottom line? What do you want? And Jill asked us for a package deal. She said, I want a place to house the animals. I want a place that will medically treat them. I want a place that will rehabilitate them, a place that will adopt them out. They were going to the pound, they were usually killed. And I need your vets to go to court to testify so these things don't happen in the future. Norm was nodding his head and the wheels were spinning, and he said, I think we can do that. And Jill added on one more thing, and she said, and by the way, we can't pay you for this, I want you to do it for free. So Norm kind of looked at me and he said, why don't the two of you work it out? And he hopped out of the picture, and we've sort of taken it from there. Since then, we've helped with hundreds of Botetourt animals, many court cases. Sometimes it's a whole package deal: medical care, rehabilitation, vets testifying in court. Sometimes it's just a matter of educating the owners of those animals and helping them out with some education and some medical care, maybe a spay-neuter so they're not having millions of cats around. We kind of balance that and work very hard to get those things done. Jill's taught us the legal aspects of all of this, and we've worked really hard to take care of the animals with the help of volunteers and foster homes. Together with Jill Deegan and Angels of Assisi, we've started a fund called the Biscuit Fund, and we work hard to fundraise that. It's medical treatment. It covers all the medical treatment for these animals that need something. It's not coming out of the taxpayers' money. We tell the stories to people, and they help to donate to the care of these animals. Mr. Austin has asked us to come today, and we appreciate the board's support very much. We would like to say that we've enjoyed our relationship with Botetourt County. We're always very happy to help. We've always been very publicly supportive of Botetourt County Animal Control. We give them praise every chance that we get. Throughout all the controversy with the pound, we've always been publicly very supportive of the municipalities. We've helped in ways in the community by, like we talked about, assisting with neglect and cruelty cases, given free medical care to the animals off of stray hold at Regional when they need it. We've been available to Botetourt County Animal Control day, night, holidays, weekends. Officer Stewart is on my top 10 favorite list on my phone. I'm probably the same on his. We offer a barn cat program to help with hard-to-place cats. We offer a orphaned kitten program where volunteers bottle feed kittens day and night so they don't have to be put to sleep. We help with taking the animals at the pound that are left over from other rescues after they take them. And we offer a lot of education and support in our community. And what we're asking from you all today is to meet us halfway on this. We weren't confident in the leadership of the pound before, and what we're facing today is, to this day, we still have owners who don't know that their animals are at Regional, even when they have tags on. We've taken them from the euthanasia list, and within an hour found a family that these dogs belong to. We have animals that are put on the euthanasia list not because they're sick, not because they're space reasons, simply because they're scared. And if you're a dog that's in a very loud place like Regional and you're kind of shut down anyway, it's going to happen. Those animals are on the euthanasia list, and we're still taking them out. We still have animals that are disappearing off of the stray hold list, and nobody has any idea of what happened to them. We don't know if they've been put to sleep. We don't know if they've gone to rescue. They're just kind of gone. I look at all of this, and like I said, we weren't confident in leadership before. There's a new director at the pound, and so far there's been very little communication. For example, it's summertime, the intake of animals goes up every year in the summertime, it's predictable. And we've asked, what's your plan? How are you going to help offset this? And there's absolutely no communication from the leadership except to give us an almost daily euthanasia list of animals that are going down. So we're just asking you to keep this a top priority, and we appreciate you looking into all of it very much.
Again, Lisa, how many employees or how many people do you work for you right now?
And Angels on the CC, 31.
31?
Yes, sir.
How many animals do you have at the facility currently?
We have 117 cats a few days ago and 48 dogs. And we have about 170 animals in foster care.
What year did you guys start? What year did you start?
2001.
Angels on the CC, 2001. And it started with spay neuter, and we just had the spay neuter. It started with the mobile home, and spay neuter went out all over to Allegheny, to Floyd County, Giles County, into Roanoke City, and then the spay neuter, we kind of condensed it all into our clinic, and what we do now is send a transport van out, and we actually have people that come to Angels for medical care for their animals on public transportation. That's one of the reasons that we're downtown, is to be very easily accessible to everybody.
I want to thank you for the service that you've done for Botetourt County.
Thank you. We've enjoyed every minute of it.
Lisa, are you interested primarily in neglected and cruelty cases and animals from Botetourt? Are you interested in all?
We'll help wherever needed.
Repeat that, I'm sorry.
We'll help wherever's needed. That's what, we've worked really hard is to help with the neglect cruelty animals in Botetourt County. It's a rehabilitation process. It's sometimes if they're starved animals, it's hand feeding them several times a day, sometimes every couple hours. And the other part of it is sending our vets to court, which is actually a very costly thing for us because we have to close down the whole clinic while our vet goes to court to testify. So, of course, we're interested in helping out with that. We do take Botetourt animals from the pound as they become available. We try not to let any of them be put down.
I guess, Lisa, my primary concern is here going forward, we can't have the conflict and the contentions we've had between the town and the CCs, and so, what would you all like to have in Botetourt? Would you want the neglected and cruelty animals brought to you, or do you want?
We want the animals taken care of. It's not happening now.
And I understand that, and I really appreciate it, but, we've hired a new director, and we're going in a new day, and hopefully things are going to get better. But the CC's has created a relationship with Botetourt County, and I value that. I see that you all are genuine, sincere, you've done a great deed. But going forward, we've got to have an agreement in place of some folks that we don't have the conflict as a town as we've had in the past. If you all want Botetourt County Animal Control Truck to come by your facility and say, we just picked up these animals, do you want them? That can probably be arranged prior to it going to the pound. Or the truck can go to the pound. The problem being is Botetourt County has to have a place commitment that we invest in, that if something should happen with Angels or some other voluntary places, we've got somewhere to go to. See? So that's why we decided to buy into the pound situation. But we'd like to have a relationship with you all also, but it can't be controversial going forward. There has, unfortunately, in my opinion, there has to be some euthanasia. I think there has to be. Possibly, maybe we can get to the point where that won't be the case, but I think there's going to always be. But what would you all like to have?
Well, a no-kill facility is defined at 90%. That's what we're asking for. And if things are going well at the pound, there's not going to be any controversy. But when dogs are being put down for reasons that they shouldn't be, when there's absolutely no effort, when animals are not getting medical treatment, I can give you over the history.
We're talking about, you're bringing up animals that are from the region, from all
Correct.
use, one ownership, one use of the plant. I'm concerned with Botetourt County. So I want to know from Angels, what kind of relationship do we have with Angels going forward that will eliminate conflict that's what this body, this board, and this government can control. I don't think we can control the destiny of all the animals who ride in the day.
Okay.
One thing we may want to consider is with Lisa and Jill Deegan, as she's going to be one of our reps on the operational committee, along with one of our animal control officers, to sit down and answer that question exactly, because we do have that excellent working relationship here. So I think if we put our collective heads together and say, okay, what do we need to do here? But then also, we'll say that I do believe that with Ms. Deegan and Ms. O'Neill's help in terms of going forward, in terms of the pound, but the four of us can sit down and try to answer that question for here in Botetourt.
Would that satisfy you, Melissa, if we did that?
Absolutely, and, you know, we're not gonna point out, we're not gonna be controversial about the pound if things are going well
Well, I
with the pound.
understand that, and I didn't know, I was not implying that that was the
Okay,
situation.
right.
It's just that Botetourt County government and Botetourt County Animal Control we're essentially only responsible for the animals that come out of Botetourt.
Mhm.
Like,
Yes.
certainly we want to see those animals placed to a high rate of placement as possible. And if you all can accomplish that, we'd love to have that happen. But I feel like our association or involvement or responsibility is with the animals from Botetourt. And if we can make that a more harmonious situation going forward by bringing those animals to you, giving you first right refusal, you don't want to take over the plan.
And if we had any type of agreement with Botetourt County to take your animals, there would be no refusal. You know what I'm saying? We would take them. If that's the agreement that we made,
Well, that's something.
we can work out
we can
together,
work
yes.
through.
Can I make one,
Also, let me say, we've got to read the terms of the agreement with the town, maybe there's some obligation there that we have to comply with.
And then we also have to make sure in terms of from the animal control officer's perspective, what are they obligated to do? So I know Ms. Deegan is going to be very helpful in terms of helping us understand those laws, bringing Ms. Dillon in terms of from the agreement perspective. But I think we have to make sure that we're
Well, even if we had to
appropriately.
take them to the pound first, and then leave the pound, check them in there and take them back, things, I'm in agreement with that.
So who are the decision makers on whether to euthanize an animal or not?
What we've been told is it's the kennel supervisors, and then, Mr. Flagler, the new director, is the ultimate one that signs off on that.
Well, that's another problem I have, because I think, if I'm correct, we put some of the people back in leadership positions that created this problem, or partially created this problem in the first place, and I just can't see why we would do that. I know we need this, and I'm gonna vote for it, but I just don't agree with that, and I know mistakes are still being made with animals that are being euthanized, out of state, that shouldn't do. And we're gonna have to monitor that and monitor that very close as we go into this.
Absolutely, and we are, and it's no excuse, but we are in that transition period. I hope that once we get into the July timeframe, when we have our operational committee in place, yes, there are some staff that are held over from the prior arrangement, but there are new key positions that have not been hired as yet. And I believe once we get those in place, we put in good, solid policies and procedures to reflect the change that we want in terms of the goals that we want, that are different from what was there a year ago. We'll be able to report to you continued success. We have, as you mentioned, a strong working relationship with Angels of the CC, and a lot of our numbers over the last year in terms of live release rates have been steadily growing. A large part of that is due specifically to Angels of the CC, through their encouragement and the encouragement of the volunteers. We are working towards doing direct adoptions at the facility. That is something that really hasn't been done in the past, and that's something that we want to continue to do. There was one thought process, just leave that to the rescue groups, and we decided, no, we want to have a role in doing direct adoptions